Stay single until you find a man who does these 9 things. Have you ever considered whether you'd be better off single than with the wrong man? Sometimes a person will take a risk, develop a deep affection for a partner, and eventually marry. There may be regret in the future. Perhaps difficulties arise and other weaknesses emerge that were not apparent during the early stages of a relationship. In that scenario, you usually say to yourself, "If only I knew then what I know now." Of course, if you're single, you have no idea what hindsight is. You only know what you feel. You may have a strong magnetic attraction to a man but are unsure if your chemistry will last. Or perhaps you have high regard for the man you're considering marrying, but are concerned that you don't feel the spark, the wow factor you expected. I believe the best advice I or anybody else can give is to stay single as long as you can. And yes, even if you have concerns, stay single until you're certain, because if your instincts are causing you to reconsider, there might be a valid cause. Life is simply easier when you're single. When you marry, you have to cope with 2 families, 2 individuals in your household, and these difficulties might become difficult if you are not passionately in love. It's scary to leave things to chance and hope for the best. I still believe that a woman should not marry only to avoid being alone. Having stated that, I believe you can tackle this matter logically rather than emotionally. There might be a logical approach. It's all about the guy's characteristics and qualities. If your partner possesses these attributes, or more particularly, does these things, I would say he's marriage material. Your future is entirely in your hands. Choose wisely. Stay single until you meet a man who does all 9 of these things. 1. He will go out of his way to make you smile. It may sound too simple to be true, yet it is frequently the little things that keep 2 people from separating like balloons in the wind. Small acts of kindness, a warm embrace to welcome you home, compliments that make you happy. Your partner's expression of love may differ depending on their personality. A shy and quiet guy is unlikely to serenade you in a shopping mall anytime soon. But what counts is that you feel loved, and he can go even further. When it comes to understanding how to love and accept love, I think the 5 love languages are an excellent tool. If he knows you like words of affirmation, he'll write you letters. If it's acts of service, he'll do the dishes when it's your time and you're exhausted. Don't settle for the bare minimum. With the proper partner, you'll never have to beg for scraps of attention. He'll give you plenty. 2. Empathy. Empathy is the capacity to put oneself in the shoes of another person and comprehend how they feel. It's an important characteristic to seek in a relationship since it demonstrates their willingness to listen to you and support you through your ups and downs. You will never feel alone in your troubles if you are with someone who has empathy. I've witnessed many relationships in which one person lacks empathy, and it's not a nice sight. Without empathy, one partner frequently ignores the other's feelings, leading to bitterness and separation. So, choose someone who actually knows and cherishes the power of empathy. 3. He tells you he misses you. A man who misses you and is not afraid to tell you so is truly unique. Many men attempt to be cool and pretend they don't care. A man who matches you and misses you when you're not there, on the other hand, is a catch. He isn't interested in mind games or playing his cards right. He simply enjoys being with you, and you feel the same way. 4. He holds your hand without shame in public. Public demonstrations of affection are acceptable in moderation and in public spaces. After all, there's a difference between #relationship goals and get a room. When you're walking together and he suddenly grabs your hand and pulls you closer to him, you get that warm, fuzzy sensation that's basically the most wonderful. It's a simple act of love that makes you feel loved by your partner. 5. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence involves more than just being intelligent. It is about recognizing and controlling your own emotions as well as those of others. A partner with great emotional intelligence is able to overcome the inevitable obstacles that emerge in relationships while remaining cool and collected. People with high emotional intelligence are more likely to understand their partner's requirements and make judgments that benefit both parties. They can also manage disputes with grace and strive toward a solution that pleases everyone involved. Consider emotional intelligence to be the glue that binds relationships together. It is the ability that allows you and your spouse to successfully communicate, develop trust, and form a lasting bond. 6. He creates a completely safe environment in the relationship. Any intimate relationship requires a certain level of safety. It's crucial to know that your flaws will never be used against you when you open up and explore each other's vulnerabilities. Find a man who has your best interests at heart. Will he still appreciate and be kind to you if you break up? You can typically tell by how he talks about his ex-girlfriends and how he treats people he doesn't think attractive. But there's more to it. A safe space is about more than simply sharing the bad things. It's about having the total ability to be your free and crazy self. Do you ever speak to your partner in a baby voice? The outside world may find it frustrating, but psychologists claim it enhances your emotional connection since you can be your childlike self without judgment. That is exactly what a safe environment is. Someone who makes you feel as though you can let go. There is no pretense, nothing but freedom. 7. Patience. Stay single until you find someone with patience, because someone who is patient is willing to give you the time and space you need to develop and learn. They will not hurry or urge you to make decisions before you are ready. Instead, they'll stick by your side and cheer you on as you negotiate life's ups and downs. When it comes to settling problems, having a patient partner is equally essential. They will agree to pay attention to your side of the story. Consider your emotions. Collaborate to discover a solution that is beneficial to both of you. The patient partner cherishes your happiness and is prepared to put in the effort to ensure that your relationship thrives. 8. Every time you see him, you get butterflies. When you first meet someone new, you get those initial butterflies and can't help but crack a cheesy smile. You're both in your PJs watching Netflix a few years later, but when you look over, you feel the same butterflies and cheesy smile you did on your first date. That is what it means to live the dream. 9. Because he envisions a future with you, he isn't afraid of commitment. Finally, a marriage-worthy man is not afraid to commit to you, at least not when it comes to you. He appreciates having you around. He wishes to be a constant presence in your life. He isn't frightened of the future because he sees you in it. He constantly prioritizes you in life, since you're a vital part of his world, and you're what makes him happy at the end of the day. If it describes your guy, he's the one. If you're left thinking, well, he's not really any of that, I believe you can do better. You deserve a partner who will exceed your expectations and live up to your high standards. Believe that, seek it out, and I am confident you will find all you desire. Thanks for watching.